Hello and welcome back to Geekatplay Studio tutorials. In previous tutorials we have demonstrated using the 3D bridge to provide the real-time updates of single models in Photoshop. For this short tutorial we're going to examine how to do this for a complete scene. Now let's start by browsing the DAZ Studio Content tab for our scenes. And then Fairy Forest. And for example, if we want to load the entire Fairy Forest day scene, we can actually export everything from this scene into Photoshop all at once. So if we have more than just one model, we can export it all at once. And that also saves a lot of time, and you don't need to just take one at a time. Okay, so for example, we have this full scene set. So let's move this so we can see our bridge navigator and click preview image, and let's change the size. The width should be 1024 pixels and the height at 768, and click on import. There you go. And now we can preview the entire scene with the backdrop and all other additional objects like trees and rocks and everything imported as one layer. And this is nice when you start creating complete backgrounds. So let's click Render to New Layer. And this will take a little bit of time. The amount of time just depends on what lighting you've set up and how the shadows will render and how fast your computer is and the overall complexity of your scene. And this may take from 1 to 3 minutes to render. So here's the completed rendering. That's one of the great things about tutorials. You don't have to wait all those minutes till the rendering is done. And you'll notice right here, as before, we rendered as one layer, but this time we have a complete scene with backgrounds, backdrops, and all the models. And this way, if you're familiar with 3D and you like DAZ Studio, you can preset everything here, import it into Photoshop, and do your final modifications and touch-ups there. Or perhaps there are additional models you might want to import on other layers. And that does it for this tutorial. I'd like to invite you to visit us on the web, where you'll find lots of additional free tutorials and great content at www.geekatplay.com.